Who knows what organelle this is? Vacuole. Good job. What does it do? You should all know this because you've already done the visual on your own and you've done the function on your own. Yes. Good job. It's a storer of water, waste. I think of a vacuole like a vacuum cleaner, and vacuums store waste, right? They don't really store water, but some do. And you want to know that it looks, I didn't even put that there, but add that it actually looks like a circle. Now, one of the major differences of a vacuole is between a plant and an animal cell. What's the major difference? The plant cell has a super large vacuole that's usually located around the center of the cell. And think about it. What is one of the things that plants need to do in order to stay nice and crisp and survive? Store water. So they have a large central vacuole because it helps them store that water better, which keeps their cells saturated, which means the plant will have a balance of water. Yep. Able to recognize organelles at this point, and you should know their function. That is basic knowledge for the test. You don't have that foundation, you're already behind. What is this? Well, centriole, it's clearly unblocked. What does it do? Anybody know what a centriole does? What does it look like? Let's start with that. It looks like pasta. It does. I should have put that. I put cylinder. But it does look like pasta. Pasta that I'm going to make today. Cylinder-like pasta. It aids in, since nobody knows, cell division. We're going to learn about centrioles more when we talk about cell division, which is, we have 2 chapters away from that. The next chapter we're going to learn is about the mitochondria. Cytoskeleton. Was that one of your organelles on the list? No? Yes or no? No? Okay, so I'm just going to tell you that the cytoskeleton helps with shape and movement. So it actually creates microfilaments, and microtubules are part of the cytoskeleton, and they create structures like cilia. Have you heard of cilia? Nobody's heard of cilia? How about flagella? What's a flagella? Flagella. Or flagellum, because there could be more than one. No. Do I have a picture of that? No. I'll show it to you here. Hold on. Let me go up so it makes sense. This is a flagella right here. That tail for bacteria helps with movement. Eukaryotic cells have it too. This is cilia. Hair-like extensions that come out of the cell that help with movement. Okay? We'll look at more of those parts later. All right. We are here. So now, we covered most of the organelles, but there's 3 more, and they vary from plant to animal cells. So these are only in animal cells. What is it? Well, the lysosome. I forgot to cover the word. What's the function? What does it look like? It looks like sushi? What kind of sushi?
It's just the first thought that came to
It
my mind.
looks like sushi? It's a circle with dots. It's very important that you remember that it's a circle with dots, because what other structure is a circle? The ribosome is a small dot. The vacuole is a circle. So when you spot the circle on your cell diagram, if it doesn't have dots, it's not a lysosome. Okay? Anybody know what those dots do? Or what is the function of a lysosome? Not one person. So it's only in animal cells. Good job. Those dots are destructive enzymes. What are we destroying? Invaders. What else? Worn out organelles. It is literally in charge of getting rid of the cell if the cell does any error during any of its functions. The lysosome should get rid of it. It also will get rid of anything trying to get into the cell that doesn't belong. It'll get rid of it. It's the first line of defense. It's like the first line of defense. Only in animal cells. These are not in animal cells. And they're two. Yep. All right. What are these little things out here? These little spikes? It's a bacteria. Cilia. Good job. All right. Only in plant cells. And I am pointing to this structure right here. What is it? Chloroplast. They look like beans. Okay. What do? They allow photosynthesis to occur. Another unique structure that's not in animal cells, but it's in plant cells primarily. It's also in other cells, but all you have to know for now is it's not in animal cells, is what? Cell wall. Now, I want to make it clear so you do not get this wrong on the test. What is the function of a wall in a building? Protect is a good one. What else? It holds up. It supports. It does not control what comes in and out. You can't come in and out of a wall. You come in and out of doors. Yes? So the walls are going to be literally the outer layer of a plant cell, bacteria, fungi, and it's responsible. But all you have to do is remember that it's not in animal cells, and you'll get it right. And it's responsible for maintaining shape, support, and protection. So you're going to also have to be able to recognize the difference between an animal cell and a plant cell, and between a eukaryotic cell and a prokaryotic cell, okay? We know that animal and plant cells, bacteria and protists, are all eukaryotic cells. You're not going to have to recognize a protist cell or a fungi cell, but you have to know the difference between a plant and an animal cell. Tell me what the main differences are. We've already covered them. Yes. The vacuole. The plant cell has large vacuole. The animal cell, small. The first difference between the cells is shape. What's the difference? Which one's square? Plant cells are square. Remember that when Robert Hooke saw the plant cell under the microscope, he was looking at when he saw a cell for the first time, he was looking at a plant cell, and because they were square, it looked like prison cells. That's how that's how we named it cell. What else is different? What do only animal cells have? No, only animal cells. Lysosomes. What are the two structures that are unique to plant cells that animal cells don't have? Chloroplast and cell walls. Good. The last organelle is the cell membrane. Why do we call the cell membrane the border patrol? Number one, it controls what enters and exits the cell. What else makes the name so unique? It's on the border. It surrounds the whole cell. So the name border patrol describes where it's located and what the function is. Who knows what semi-permeable or selectively permeable means? Good job. It doesn't let everything in. It's going to be very selective of what can enter and what can exit the cell and when. It's very specific. It matters the environment and what it needs and what it has. Those three factors. You have to be able to recognize, this is a question, 3 questions on the test. What the cell membrane parts and function are. Okay? We learned yesterday that lipids form membranes. Do you remember that? What else do lipids do? What else did you learn that lipids do? See if you can remember. I know it's fast, but what do lipids do for you? Anybody? Why do we eat fats? Energy. Storage. See, fats. They store things, right? And then they give you energy. For organisms that are big, the fat helps keep them warm. The lipids, which could be waxes, can repel water. Remember I said that? Or they could bring water. So phospholipids are two layers. Here's one layer. Right here. Here's another. Throughout the phospholipid bilayer, there's different little structures. What do they look like? We learned about them yesterday. That's a good answer, but it's proteins. Yeah, it looks like an organic compound. This is a protein. This is a protein. This is a protein. This is a protein. Any structure within the bilayer is a protein. Now, molecules can be coming in and out, and we're going to talk about that process today. Okay? I just colored them. I colored all my proteins. You could put an arrow. I just wanted to show you that there's many different types of proteins. This is the last slide. Now, the phospholipid bilayer, if you look at it here, this, and we could layer it. This is layer 1, right here. And this is layer 2. Let's do layer 2 in a different color. Undo. Layer 2. It doesn't matter what order you do it in, but you see layer 1, layer 2. Now the top of the layer is one layer is an inverted layer form of the other. The top of the layer is little balls, which makes perfect sense when you try to remember that ball is called the phospholipid head or phosphate head because it's made out of phosphate. Now the head of the bilayer is polar or hydrophilic. Anybody know what do you think of when you think of polar? Cold. What else do you think of? Polar bears. What else? Santa. It's true. He lives in the North Pole. Polar Express. Okay, but how about hydrophilic? Water. The head is water loving. So easy to get the head right, maybe not so easy to get the water loving or water hating part. But the head is polar, it's made of phosphate, and it's water loving or hydrophilic. The tails, okay, are made up of lipids. This is how you try to remember. And if you remember the function of a lipid, lipids repel water. They're water hating. They're hydrophobic. And they're non-polar. How many vocabulary words did I just give you? A lot.